Hello, welcome to the Pivot Ability Show. Today we've got Jack
That's correct.
Sorenson. He's a fitness coach. He has a pretty nice story about how he got into fitness and how he's made an entire business out of it. So I'm really excited for him to share what he's got going on. So listen, where do you think your story begins?
My gosh. Man, my story begins, I guess, more or less like, I've been an athlete forever. I've been playing sports for, I played sports for as long as I can remember. So I guess it kind of starts all the way back then, having activity being kind of a big part of my life back then, but kind of taking a turn away from sports is what actually kind of made me me at this point. So I guess sports is like it's routed in like a new activity very well, and that's why I kind of like when I was in rough periods, I did kind of lean on activity to get me out of it. But it's also what got me kind of down a bad path at the same time. So it's interesting, yeah, kind of a little bit. So man, how do we start this? So basically growing up, I was one, I did play sports, like I said, but I was a very creative individual. I loved drawing. I loved music. Big music guy. I played guitar growing up. I loved to skateboard. Big adrenaline junkie. Loved movement, essentially. But as I kind of got older, I was put into sports more or less because that's what my father essentially thought. That's what you should do with your children. Put them in sports, whatever. And then it slowly kind of, not on the fault of his own, but basically slowly kind of pushed out the versions of me that like I kind of gathered as aged, when I was like little, like I adopted drawing on my own. I adopted playing guitar on my own, skateboarding on my own. It's like these things that were made me me,
Hmm.
they slowly kind of shifted away and would kind of dwindled away. And I basically only did sports. So
So did getting involved in sports come at a cost of your creative side?
yeah,
Like,
yeah, oh yeah, for
were you
sure.
not given like the avenue to do both, or did you feel like you couldn't do both?
I wasn't given the option, to be honest.
Okay.
I was kind of giving a little bit of a ultimatum, more or less, like as the sports started to ramp up, like me wanting to skateboard and potentially injuring myself. My dad said, "No, you can't."
Mm.
And then with guitar, I used to get lessons and trying to get better, and all that stuff. But then as the sports got more involved, I essentially just couldn't take lessons anymore. It just dwindled out. And then because I kind of had lost my creative version of me, I just no longer drew. I no longer was kind of just, putting a pen to paper and just sketching randomly because I felt like it. It
Mhm.
kind of just completely dwindled away. So, and then it was just like years of just playing sports. Like that was my life, which was fine. It was fun. But like I realized man, it took me a while to come to the terms with it essentially, but like I kind of lost me essentially. I
Hmm.
lost kind of like what made Jack Jack, the individuality, because I feel like everyone has something that makes them them, and like what are you into? And if it's unfortunate because a lot of people are like I don't know. I'm like, well, I think you had at one point in your life probably stripped away from you. You didn't even realize it, but like I felt like that's what happened to me is I kind of just had this individuality ripped from me with. Once again, it's not my dad's fault. It's just the way people were raised, and
Yeah.
but like it's crazy thinking back on it. Yeah, it's just like, and it's what's wild too is like I was so good at skateboarding at a very young age. Like I was that 10-year-old doing stuff that like you shouldn't be doing, like just
Yeah.
psychotic. And like I 100% would have gone down the route of trying to become a professional skateboarder. Like that's what I would have done. If that was the case, I would have 100% done that, but I didn't. I didn't have the opportunity to do so. I didn't really have really much over the decisions I made. Like if I wanted to play football, for example, I played hockey, soccer, baseball growing up,
Mhm.
and I wanted to play football, and my dad said no. So it's like that was just it. I'm like, oh, okay. I thought I'd be good at it, but
Wait,
no, I
hold
didn't
on.
have the
So why
chance.
why was there a no on a 4th sport, or was it because it was football specifically?
I think it was just like he's like you're too good at soccer. Like you
Oh,
can't give
okay.
up what you did here to try out something new. I'm like, it's 1 year. Like just give me a shot. I can always go back.
Yeah.
And because like I had some friends that were football players. I had some friends' dads were like, Jack, like you'd be crazy on the football field. Like you want to give it a shot. I'm like, yeah, that sounds cool. Because I'm like, yo, something new.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome. And I didn't get really wasn't really given the chance.
Did you ever all of this is during grade school, is that
Yeah,
right?
like this is early. Grade school, middle school. Yeah.
Did you feel burnt out at any point, or you hadn't reached that point yet?
Oh, I was burnt out 24/7. If like thinking now, like has, being an adult, looking back, I was fried all the time and I just kind of kept going through it.
Yeah.
I played every sport pretty much year round. So it's like if I wasn't like in season for one sport, I was training for the other two, or I was on
Mm.
a team that would like I would play for like once a week on the other sport. So it's like I was just nonstop moving my body, just being a machine essentially. And it was crazy. It was crazy. And that's kind of like all I knew. And then I ended up playing, like all the way up until basically, college sports. I played college baseball for a year. And then that was awful. And then that was kind of like where kind of my path really was started to go downhill of like everything like leading up to that, like losing myself, losing the individuality, kind of only relying on people to like, I'm only able to function if someone tells me what to do, essentially. Right. Well, basically, I didn't feel good if my dad didn't, if like my father or my coach, said I did
Seeking
good,
seeking that, like, external
yeah,
praise.
I needed the external for the
Yeah.
longest time, and I needed someone telling me what to do, a teacher, a coach, like a figure, so, like, once I got to college, I mean, this happens to so many people, right?
Mhm.
It's like, "Whoa, how do I have a day?" I have all these classes, but then what do I do with my time elsewhere? Obviously, drinking gets involved, things like that. I mean, I'm a firm believer my family has some sort of level of alcoholism. I got very addicted, and it was a problem. And so, like, come college, yeah, just like started playing college baseball, started getting into drinking. My ego was pretty hit hard when I wasn't starting. I was a freshman and all this shit. So it's like that version of me, is just like all I knew was sports. All I knew was being one of the better players. Then all of a sudden, I'm in a pool of people that like, I'm good, but I wasn't the best by any means, and it hit me hard. I'm like, I'm fucking done. Screw this. I'm out. You know,
So
uh,
done with sports.
quit. Yeah, I quit,
Okay.
and then next best thing is
Did you get, like, a scholarship or anything going, or did you
I got
just
it based on merit, so, like, the way they formed the scholarship was kind of based on more so, like, they said it's on merit, but it was because of baseball, like, they can pull that's the unfortunate thing of, like, D3 and stuff like that is you can't really get, like, scholarships based on sports, at least at my school, so they would,
okay.
like, kind of hide it based on merit, like, "Oh, it's for academics," but it's
Yeah.
actually for sport, and so, like, I still kept it after I left, essentially.
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask. Because then, like, there's people who make it into college or who can't afford to be in college because of sports, and they do, like, realize that they don't have because being in college and having, like, a full load of classes and stuff, it's a lot.
It is a lot, it is.
Add, like, that level of athleticism to it, uh, how do you sleep, you know? So then, like, the
Yeah.
people that, do reach a crossroads of, like, "I can't do both," they end up having to pick one, and then they're stuck.
This is my cat, he might pop up a couple times, his name's Polaris.
Yeah, I put the dog like, the dog that my roommate has, I put him in the kennel, and he's, like, hearing my voice, and he's like, "Why are you not cuddling with me right?"
Yeah, he would have a tantrum if
Dude, this guy whines morning. I was just like, I texted my roommate yesterday, and I was like, "It's like he knows when I, like, open my eyes first thing in the morning, because like, I
Yep.
opened my eyes, and he was, like, just, like, whining nonstop, and I was like, "Dude, could you stop? Like, let me wake up first,
Yeah,
and
like,
then we
let
can
me
play the
be.
whining game." But yeah, no, like there's just like, a bunch of students who find themselves at that crossroads and then they're like kind of
Yeah,
stuck, like they have to do both. And I feel like it's usually academics that takes like that gets put on the back burner.
most of the time, yeah. I mean, I was an engineer, I was at engineering school, so, like, the way it moved and stuff too, it's like, it was extremely overbearing, and so that's partly also why I quit baseball is, like, I just could not manage both. I was struggling a lot that freshman year.
Yeah.
Also going through, like, relationship stuff, whatever, but, like, it was a brutal, brutal freshman year, and then, once I quit baseball, I basically just turned to alcohol, so that was the unfortunate side of things, and I put on a lot of weight very fast. I put on, probably around 15 pounds my freshman year,
Okay.
the classic freshman 15, and then I call it the sophomore 60. I put on,
Like,
like yeah, like, I put on, like I told yeah, it's hilarious, it's hilarious. I literally put on, like, 60 pounds in about a year. It was nuts. So, it's around there, I swear, it's just, like, been blurred in my mind at this point,
so
but,
was
like,
it 75 total then? The 15
it was,
plus?
like, 70-ish total, yeah, it's
Oh
crazy.
my gosh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I entered college around 140, like,
Mhm.
around 140 pounds, like, I'm not a tall guy, I'm 5'9". Um, and then I ended sophomore year at 210, just around 210, so it's, like,
Okay.
70 pounds.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
Did that How did that transition feel on like, physically? How did that feel physically, and did you feel it, or were you too busy having fun, being
I was too
distracted?
busy. I was so
Okay.
distracted. Yeah, I think it was. I did come into a crossroads end of sophomore year, starting junior year. I'm like, what the heck? I mean, that's also when, the good old C word happened, 2020. A lot of things happened that year. A lot of people, it sucked and it was awful, of course, for the world. But it was a lot of self-reflection for me, and it made it so I can get out of the hole. It made it so I could get out of the hole that I was in.
Did your classes transfer over into,
Online
fully
stuff.
remote?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it did.
Were you completely by yourself, or were you in dorms? Were you with family? What was your situation?
So, yeah, I think I was at home for a bit, and then they tried bringing people back onto campus, but, like, it was, like, hybrid for a while, and then I think it was just hybrid for the rest of my time back in college, essentially. It never really went fully back into class. Like, there was, like, some classes that were online, some classes were in person, but, yeah, that was a crazy couple years for
So
sure.
COVID, year in junior year?
Over the year was junior year for me,
Okay,
yes. I
okay.
didn't know if we wanted to say the C word on here or not.
I don't is it something you don't talk
I
about?
don't know, dude. I don't know. I've said that way, like, for another podcast, and, like, one guy's like, "Oh, like, I appreciate you not saying the name. I don't think it matters, but I appreciate you just, like, being careful about that." I'm like, "Okay." So I just, like, that's kind of, like, where that's how I've always said it going forward. So the vid, good old craziness, but
Okay.
yeah. So,
Yeah, so, like,
man.
I was 125 pounds in 7th grade, and since 7th grade, I have been working my way back to 125 pounds while just increasing every year, right? So, like, I think a few months ago, I found myself at 170, and I was like, "Oh, I'm so far away," because it was, like, 25 and then, like, 35 and then 40 and then, like, I'm 30 now, right? It's been a really long time. But for some reason in my head, like, that's the weight that I'm supposed to be.
Yeah, you mentally think that way. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know why I just got stuck at that point in my life. So, what did I wanna say? I think whenever I was, like, on my heavier side, I realized that doing something as simple as getting in and out of my car was way too much work.
Mhm.
Like, just, like, grunting, doing that, like, tying my shoes, which I don't tie my shoes often anymore, but, like, because well, now I'm wearing sneakers again, but anyway, it's just, like, moving was such a chore, and I reached the point of being like, "I can't do this anymore. Like, I have to do something about it." So that's why I'm asking, like, you grew up with movement, right? Being super active, and then suddenly you put on 70 pounds in, like, a
Yeah,
really
crazy. Yeah.
but I
You
guess
know
being distracted helps with
It was yeah, I was extremely distracted, but there were instances of, like, I tried picking up rugby because I was in a fraternity that was like a rugby wrestler frat, and so, like, when I started picking up rugby, there was some senses of like, "Fuck, why I'm getting winded, dude, like, this is crazy." Like, I've never had an issue with running a lot and all that stuff. I was an athlete, I got was very good, and so to, like, feel like I'm slower, like I'm a slower guy, I'm getting winded. I definitely noticed it a little bit for sure. But once again, I was just so blinded by this life that I've created where I was just like loving, I was drinking every day of the week, every excuse to get alcohol into my system. And, so it was definitely just kind of washed away essentially. And then I never really could put like a pin on it of like when my mind shifted, to be honest. But there was definitely a time where I just kind of was started looking at myself in the mirror more and more and realizing how much weight I've put on and like how I've literally just like lived a life that was not me for such a long time. And it really just started to come to like that end of sophomore year, essentially, where I was like, holy shit, like what happened? What happened? I just like had nothing to say. Like, if like what made me me? It's like I had, if someone asked me like what music I was into, I would say everything under the sun. Like I hadn't have like I was just all over the place. You know, just like all I knew was sports. I didn't skateboard anymore. I didn't do any of these things, and I just didn't have like I don't know. I didn't have like an individuality. I didn't have something that made me me. So I was like, holy shit! Like it just really hit me, really, really hit me. So then I kind of started shifting towards movement again, wanting to lose the weight, but then I like got really attached to just like bettering myself, losing the weight, getting stronger, just feeling more confident in my skin. That was huge. And then I have a big thing that helped me get through is I have a drift car, so I have a race car, and I built this car basically. I was getting a fix of kind of that adrenaline piece that I lost when I was younger in the creative instant in the creativeness. So like I built this car, it was a junkyard car, fully restored it and turned it into a race car. And like I
This
was
is while
getting
you were in college?
yeah, this is while I was in college. Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty
Every
cool.
cent I made was just dumped into this car because all of a sudden I was getting a sense of holy shit, like I'm finding there's something here. Why am I pouring money into this thing? It's
Uh-huh.
like, and I looking back, I'm like, it's because I was 100% like getting that feeling of like me again, where it's like I can build something, I'm getting creative, I have complete control over this thing that I'm making. I can do whatever what I want with it. And then when I drive it and rip it around, like, it gives me a little bit of, like, that high, that adrenaline rush
Yeah.
that I used to absolutely just be obsessed with. And so, like, just working on myself with the gym and then that, like, they kind of, like, hand in hand really just started to get me out of this hole that I was in and build me up. And, like, all of a sudden, like, sports, like, I personally don't like sports anymore, and it's hilarious. Like, I don't. Like, "Do you watch sports?" I'm like, "No." They're like, "What do you watch?" I'm like, "I watch professional drifting and go to concerts and music." Like, I'm
Okay.
back to what I
Yeah.
was. Like, I'm
Jack
fully
is back
Jag
again.
is back, yo, but, like, it's crazy. But, yeah, I have no interest in sports, 0, you know? It's so funny how it turned out that way, but, like, I just slowly just was just like, "I don't care for it." Like, I have no interest in it. That was that version of me was being controlled by someone else, but now I got the hands on the wheel, and I started really just figuring out my life. And once I graduated college, I ended up moving completely. Like, I moved to a different state, didn't know anybody, and I just really just gave it my all to figure out what the heck made me me. And yeah, now it's just like been just a journey since there. Then essentially figuring out that like being an engineer, I got into real estate, hated real estate. Like I had a rental property, then I started coaching people, and now all of a sudden I do coaching full time. So it's like it's crazy, so crazy.
Okay.
So
So,
much has happened between then, but like I feel like I would
yeah,
talk for a full hour if I do
how
that.
how long ago was that? How long ago did you, I guess, graduate and that
But in 21.
okay, so
Yeah,
it's
yeah. So
been,
4
like,
years
4
ago.
in 4 years, your life has completely changed.
Oh, it's absolutely insane how much has changed, yeah.
At which point did you start was it whenever you were finally getting fulfillment again from your activity, like, your hobbies,
Yeah.
that you started trying to change your physique, or was that after graduating? Like, when did that kick in?
Yeah, the weight loss was happening the same time as the car stuff and the
Okay,
hobbies and stuff. I mean, the weight loss initially started as, like, just, like, 1, obviously feel better, but then it turned into a hobby. I got
okay,
obsessed with just learning because I kinda developed this engineer mindset. I mean, engineering was one of those things that also was kinda pushed onto me, but I did love cars. I love that. I love the mechanics of things moving. Physics was, like, my favorite class growing up just 'cause I enjoy movement. Like, holy crap, no way, I'm an adrenaline junkie.
yeah,
So, I love just learning the biomechanics and, like, how movements work and the functionality behind it and becoming flexible, range of motion, stuff like that, so I just really got obsessed with it and enjoyed it. So, like, leaning into that, learning a lot about it, and so that kind of just formed it. My physique kinda came from that, and I
uh-huh,
got really into bodybuilding initially. Like, I did a bodybuilding show, I did a bunch of different endurance races. I just loved putting my body through stuff because it was just giving me a sense of that like fix, that adrenaline rush, that like, holy crap, like I'm doing this for me type thing.
yeah,
But yeah, the physique kind of came a result of senior year. I was shredded to the gills, like literally sophomore year, fat as can be. Junior year was spent the entire year losing the weight, and then senior year I was like ripped beyond can be. Like yeah, like really lean. Like and I did end of senior year is when I did my competition. So I was like
okay.
it's just a total flip flop in like 3 or 4 years. Like it was like total insane and insanity. Yeah.
It's pretty cool to hear how, like, I guess whenever we get passionate about something that, like, it just we make it happen, right? Because I'm thinking about my time in school, and it sounds like you had money coming in, so were you working?
Yeah, where I was a bouncer.
Okay,
I was a
okay,
bouncer
so
at a
you were
bar.
working, you were
Yeah.
also in school, and you were, like, hitting the gym hard because you were just, like, into it, and, like, your other hobby was, fixing up your car, and I'm thinking, like, I would go to school and I would go to work and then I would, like, recover. Like, that is all I could handle. So, I like that you were able to really tap into these
I just had
hobbies.
outlets, I think there was, like I was searching for them for so long, so, like, once I got a taste of it, like, I just became obsessed,
Mhm.
and I definitely was tired, I definitely, like, kept pushing through, what you could call burnout and all this stuff, but I just loved this, like, sense of just, like, doing stuff on my own. I
Yeah,
loved it. It was like I would get energized from it, you know? It was
exactly.
awesome, and I still get energized from it, like, just doing stuff for myself. I mean, that's why I have my own business and entrepreneur and stuff just because I love it so much, being able to build something myself.
When I
because I
was
was just
hearing
told what to do for so fucking long, you
right,
know?
now I can finally, like, be in charge of it. When I was
Yeah.
hearing you some of your previous interviews, something that really stood out to me was the phrase, like, "I just thought if I work really hard," like, or, "I know how to work hard, but I didn't have a plan or anything." Talk about that, like, where did this, I guess, work ethic come from?
I mean, I could owe that to the sports,
Okay.
a little bit, a little bit. I kind of I always wanted to impress people growing up. Like, I wanted to be the best. I wanted to be the one talked about. That's just kind of like, once again, the external validation. So I kind of just did whatever I could to try to be the best, training and just like go, 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 beating just nonstop. I mean, I think the sports kind of just like fed into that and taught me how to just like consistently work hard and just show up each and every day. Blind action, just hopefully things work out. Hopefully I get better, all that. And it kind of 100% formed me into someone that just doesn't give up, doesn't stop trying, keep pushing, and just it'll figure itself out
Yeah.
essentially, you
Yeah,
know?
I think most people think that they're not getting the results that they need because they're not working hard enough, right? And you were like, "Well, I was working hard.
Yeah, I just didn't
I
stop, you
needed
know?
strategy," you know? And
Yeah,
right,
I think
consistency.
what happens too a lot of the time is that, people will work hard and then they'll do it to a point where they burn out and it's like so over the top. I think what happened with me is I kind of found like a lifestyle that I could handle and not burn out.
Mhm.
And because I was able to just to like handle whatever I was giving myself, like I just wouldn't stop. And then eventually it would just work out. And that's how I coach my clients too. It's like if you like figure out a way to never stop and just keep going and like not feel burnt out and like have it actually fuel you, you really can't fail. You know what I mean? You can't. Like you'll find a way. You will find a way. Because if you as long as you're adapting and learning and getting better,
Mhm.
eventually it'll hit. Eventually something will click. That's something that I've definitely realized over the years. My cat is doing something so stupid right now. What are you doing? Oh my gosh,
From
sorry.
no, you're good. From all of these things that you learned in this, like, obsessive moment that you had of, like, fitness do you need to go?
No, you're good. You're
Oh,
good.
okay.
He's just like, yeah, I'm gonna get him. Wait, hold on.
Okay. I'll be back too. Let
All
me let the
right,
dog
let me.
out. Pet control.
Yeah, we did it. I had to. I pulled the plug. I said, you know what? You're going in the room. You'll survive. Can I hear him yet?
Yeah, he's outside now, and I feel bad because it's cold, but, like, man, if he's not in the kennel, he'll be, like, right here jumping on me and asking for attention, whining. Anyway, I think we were talking about consistency. But, yeah, I think you finished your thought about you need to stick with it long enough to where, like, you can continue doing it every day.
Yeah, yeah. Like just finding a balance of things. I think that's just like so many people get shiny object or just like get the idea that like they need to like just humbled to the ground, like insane levels of like, whether it's business with KPIs or just like unattainable stuff in the gym, they burn out and then they just stop entirely. I'm like, we need to kind of get away from that narrative in anything in life and take a route that like no matter how busy you think you are or whatever, you could still find a way to show up.
Yeah.
It's crazy what just consistent action, consistent, pursuance of something, what can happen. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. That's why I was able to get in the shape I did. It's just like I wasn't doing anything special. I was just like so consistent with the food and I found what worked for me and like that was it. I wasn't super strict. I wasn't whatever. I enjoyed myself when I did, but I just figured out a way to just keep, staying true to that and to figure it out. Same with the drifting. It's like I just kept showing up, getting driving, going to the racetrack, fixing stuff, just kept figuring things out and they would just keep working out and now I'm way better. It's everything. I'm addicted to progress for sure. That's something I figured out over the years. I
Yeah.
love getting better at things and
Yeah.
making progress. Every avenue of my life except I mean, it's not like I could get better at listening to music. I love music. I probably go to like 3 or 4 live shows a month.
Okay.
So, very, very active in the music scene and stuff, so I can't get better at that, but, like, everything else there, I'm like, "Oh, I just wanna keep growing, getting better at things," and I love creating and getting better, so that's just it? It's
And
like
I
right
think that's, I don't know if the word is special. I think that's really, I guess, cool. I, on the other hand, so I was kinda smart for my age growing up, so things, like, came easily to me. I would learn
Are
really
you with that person, getting straight A's, 20
I would learn really fast.
teacher's
Because
pet
of
for
that
sure, 100%.
my teachers, but I don't think I was. I would honestly tell you if I was. I don't think I was, but
You don't
we'd have to ask my classmates. So, like, what I learned early on was I'm supposed to be good at things. Like, right? Because that's who I am. I am someone who's good at things. Therefore, whenever I would reach things that became more difficult or more complex, I was like, "Oh, then this I shouldn't be doing it at all
Yeah.
because I can't be good at, like, because I'm not good at it already means I'd like." So, and I didn't grow up playing sports, and I think that is one of the best things that sports teach you, that it's about, putting in the reps and, trying again and getting more skilled and, progressing. Versus, like, being taught a concept and being like, "Oh, yeah, I understand the concept. I'm good at this now. Moving on." Right? So, I think in this past year have become way more compassionate with myself, and, I think I've developed more balance in understanding that it's okay to be bad at something because it only means you can get better, right? So,
Yes.
I like that attitude of, like, being addicted to progress because also, like, then you have the people that are always chasing, like, the finish line, right? But you don't get to enjoy the journey.
Yep.
The journey is precious in everything. Like, we're talking about fitness right now, but even if you're trying to achieve a certain goal, like all of the habits that you have to learn to be able to achieve that. And I think that's something that our society could really benefit from, like understanding that we are evolving humans that have the capacity to learn and to get better at things. And it's just a matter of time and commitment, right? To be able to get
You
there.
hear that, guys? It's okay to suck. But it's true, though. I mean, I think I think it's also just comes to, like, a little bit with, like, how the grade school in general, due to, like, "Yo, this is your grade, you're good or bad," and then, like, you kind of are judged based on what your grade is.
Mhm.
And because of that, it's definitely created, I think, in just like a society where it's like if you're not good at something, you get an F and you should, and you just like you
I'm
shouldn't
bad
do
at
it.
that. I shouldn't do
You're
that.
bad at that. I shouldn't do that. And so it's in man, by college you're still bad at math. Man, you should never give it a go. You should just
Oh
completely
my
give it
god.
up.
Or, like, not
Yeah.
graduating on time, that was, like, a big
Oh
thing
my
for
god,
me.
dude, like, I mean, it's a big thing even in my family because I have some family members that are slower, and I'm like, "Yo, like, you don't have to graduate on time. Like, I don't even use my degree. Like, stop. Like, you're fine." It's fine. Like, there's the assumption that you need to be out in 4 years or whatever. I'm like, stop. You could be stumbling for, like, graduate college at 25, 26, 27, stumble your whatever for 10 years straight, you'd still be under 40, and you could still be crushing it, thousands of dollars, millionaire, whatever, by the mid 40s. It's like you can spend most of your life stumbling and then all of a sudden hit. Like, we need to get across a lot of people's minds because they think, oh,
Like,
mid
my
20s.
chance is over,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like mid 20s. Like, I have to have kids by 25. I have to be married by 26. I have, it's like, holy, it's just this assumption that it needs to be done so early. No, it's like, go at the pace that you can handle, you know?
Exactly. Yeah, I recently heard I was on listening to one of Brian Pineda's podcasts, like, one of his episodes, and I can't remember the exact phrase, but the speaker he had on said, "It's about the day after." Like, if you're on a challenge of some sort or, if you're following a diet or, you're trying to keep a certain habit, the habit is only good if you can fail and then keep
Show
going.
up again. Yep.
Yeah.
That's everything.
It's like the day after resilience or something like that. I wish I could find it right, like, right now in this moment. But anyway, yeah, and I started the year with doing 75 hard
Did
and
you?
super excited. Yeah, like, I started on the 1st, and last year
Very
I
hard to
made
do.
it and I got to the teens, but then I sprained my ankle, and that just took me down a rabbit hole of, like, if I can't do one thing, I can't do anything, right? And that's not the way it works. But anyway, I was like, I'm starting strong, right? So I started on the 1st, and I got to day 17. I was on a trip, and on day 18, I was tired, I was hungry, and I was like, "You know what? I'm just gonna have like, I'm gonna break my diet. Like, oh, well, I'll just have to do 75 plus 18 days. So be it." And that was the last day that I did 75
Yeah,
hard.
that's what I'm saying. Hey, this is
But I'm trying not to do what I did last year. So I'm not doing the 45-minute workouts, one outside and one in the morning, but okay, do 30.
yeah.
Show up, right? And my diet, because I needed it to be like something that I could sustain, I was like, nothing is off limits, but I have to make it at home. I'm too lazy. Like, I love fries. Like, that I think is my biggest
You can
weakness.
have fries every day if you want to.
I want to
Every
talk
day.
about that.
You can have fries every day. I have literally sweet potato fries hanging out in my fridge right now, and I'll probably pop them open tonight for dinner.
Sounds so good. Yeah, I
But
had some my roommate came home with some fries
you
yesterday.
have the right mindset. I mean,
What
you
happened to
do, where it's just like finding what works for you, rinse, repeat. So I do have a gripe with 75 hard. I got beef. I got beef with 75 hard,
I
and
wanna
it's not.
talk.
Yeah, it's just so just because you create these crazy expectations of what you need to be doing to be successful, and the average human being can't sustain that past 75 days. Okay. And what happens is they crush it, but then there's a date on it. There's a stop date. And when you have a stop date where you officially say no more, you go from you go from whatever you're doing to pretty much zero. And
Mhm.
then when you go to zero, right, you stay there most of the time.
Yeah.
So many people that I know have done 75 hard, they put on all of the weight very quickly after. And
Mm.
it's awesome because I like doing hard things. I've done plenty of hard things. And I think I there's a time and place for the 75 hard, but if you're using it as a weight loss thing or try to get it like whatever, it's like you're setting yourself up to fail. If
Mm.
it's something that you like, you are happy with your physique, are pumped with your food, and you just want to do something hard to get you
Yeah.
kick your ass this year, then sure, 100%. But it's like it's not your it should not be your route to getting in better shape or starting a workout routine because you will not be able to sustain it like 100%. 2 a days, very hard to do. Everything else that comes with it, very hard to do. You just can't be a human being. And you need to honestly, to make it sustainable, you need to remember you're a human being. Like I have pizza to myself every freaking Friday and I love it so much. I love pizza and I have
Yeah.
a six pack year round. Okay. It's like, it's okay. Be a human. You have to be like, the way I say it for people like that, like to zoom out a little bit, it's like the people that are in the best shape around you. It's not some secret. They just know when and when they cannot lean in and let loose. That's it.
Mhm.
That's all they know, right? And they understand when they can enjoy themselves and then get you like that whole thing, like the tomorrow thing that you were talking about. It's like just finding a way to always get back to it, always show up the next day. That's kind of like what I preach to my clients and everything. It's like, yo, I want you to like literally have a bomb ass meal on a Saturday night, like with
Mhm.
your fam or have pizza, have sushi, whatever your favorite meal is, go have it. But what I'm asking of you is make sure on Sunday you get ready to rock and get back to it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, and then if they find a way to always find a way to, excuse me, if they find a way to always get back to it, you literally can't fail. And that's kind of just, that's the mentality I created when I was losing all the weight. It's like, yo, if I give myself that pizza every Friday night, like I know for a fact I can 100% keep this going. And so that's what I did. And it's like kind of something I've always kind of just done, and I love it. And
Do you
here
always
I
have the
am.
same pizza spot, or do you, like, switch it up?
I mean, so it depends every time I've moved, so I've moved a bunch, I've always kind of like it's an event for me. I lived alone by myself for a long time. So it was like a way for me to like get out and like go to see new places and stuff. So yeah,
Uh-huh.
I would go to a different spot pretty much every Friday. But then now that I'm like living with my girlfriend and everything, we just kind of like we have our go-to. Yeah. So yeah, we got our go-to. New York pizza is fantastic, and I'm just attached to this one spot. It's just like it always hits. I'm like, I don't want to potentially get all excited for one spot and then be disappointed
Are
because
you
I
in New
look
York?
forward to my pizza on Fridays. So
Are you in New York?
I live in New York City,
Oh,
correct? Yeah.
okay. What is this pizza spot?
What is this pizza spot? Where are you around here or something? Where you
No,
at?
but I love pizza.
Yeah, there's this place. Let me pull up my Uber Eats. Excuse me, hold up. But there's this place that we ordered from at 3 a.m. a while back.
Oh,
We came back from a concert. So I'm into metal and EDM. Okay, so metal shows early, always early. EDM, the show doesn't start till like 1 a.m.
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's very old. So like one night we got back so late, we are like, "What's open?" It's called Famous Joe Pizzeria. Bomb,
I
bomb.
can't wait. Now I need to go to New York just to try this.
Just to try it. It's so good. It's like my favorite. It's probably one of the best pizzas I've ever had. It's so good. But yeah, it's so funny. At 3 a.m., we're like, why is this place open? And she's gluten free, so it's like we have to be picky. And so we're like, oh, well, this is the only one we're getting. This is the only option, and it worked out.
Yep.
So
And it hit. That's
it
awesome.
hits. It hits. I love how we just talked about my story, and all of a sudden we're talking about pizza.
I mean, I like that
If
you're
this ain't a me in the nutshell, though, I don't know what is.
dude,
It's
at the
like,
end, like, I think your story's all about balance, like,
yeah, it is. It
hard
really
work
is.
and balance. I think that if I had to, label your story, those are the genres that I would put it under: hard work and balance.
Yeah.
So I want to transition into talking about your business.
Yeah. Let's do it.
I know whenever we first spoke, you were like, I love that everyone has this great, oh, I decided to quit my job story, but I got laid off instead.
I got wiped.
It was sink or
I
swim.
got control alt deleted out of the company. Yeah, it was gonzo.
I would love it if you could talk to us about the phases that you went through from that moment until, I guess, whenever you felt successful in your entrepreneurial journey.
I mean, I felt successful once I started to make like any kind of money to like, holy shit, I can like pay for enough groceries and live. But yeah, okay. So a little bit of like how the layoff happened. So I worked for a small company, smallish, like, so I worked in the automotive industry, self-driving cars. It sounds cooler than it is. I promise you, it sounds way cooler than it is. All right. I did coding. It was simulation engineering. It was not cool. All right. Sounds cool. Oh, self-driving cars. I'm like, dude, self-driving cars is cool outside when you see it driving around. But what do you think drives the car?
Yeah.
Code. That's what I did. That's not fun,
Just
okay?
marketing.
Yeah, it is like, it's just it was no bueno. So, we got acquired by a big tech company, and I mean, it's kind of something that keeps popping up recently is like big tech companies are just wiping a lot of employees out the yin yang right now. Like, it's a repetitive thing, and when we got acquired, I was like, "Okay, there's a chance this might happen." Lo and behold, basically a year into my employment with this company, that's when they did it. So they wiped like half the engineers from where I was working. So like I was an easy target because I had a family emergency. I was living in Michigan at the time.
Mhm.
I had a house there, and then I had a family emergency in Massachusetts, so I moved and I asked for remote. They said no problem, figure it out. Let us know if you're gonna come back. I'm like, I'm not coming back, but I was remote, and so I was just an
And they
easy
were
easy
like, "You
target.
indeed are not coming."
Yeah, it's like now you're really not coming back, Jack. I'm like, okay, little brutal, damn, but yeah. So I got I just got a call on a random, I don't know the date. It was October 25th, whatever day of the week. I remember the date. I will forever remember that date. And as the day I just got laid off, I got the call. So at that moment in time, I've been coaching for years. So like ever since I got out of college, I was coaching people. I got certified. I tried in-person training on the side of my engineering job. Couldn't maintain it. Ridiculous. Literally maybe did 2 sessions. And I'm like, I can't. This is ridiculous. There's no way I can maintain my freaking like just livelihood with this. So I didn't do that.
Okay, you tried to do that instead of
I just tried to do it on the side. I was like,
okay,
"I love this." I got
okay.
certified. I was like I had the people that I met in Michigan were fitness guys, like, that's when I first met them, and I
Mm.
asked them if I could, try to do some training or whatever, and I found one person I connected with just because, and I coached them at their house, and then another person I was trying to do in person at the gym, and I realized I couldn't it was just not doable, especially because at this point in time, I had the aspirations to buy a house. I wanna get into real estate. So I'm like, "There's no way I can do this, learn how to do real estate." It just, like, was not happening. But at
You
the
wanted to get
time,
into real estate as an investment or
yeah, 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 I learned about house hacking and single family stuff and renting it by the room. Like, I got obsessed with it. Like, that was, like, when I first graduated college, that was like, "Oh, this is my route to entrepreneurship is get enough properties, passive income." I mean, you hear it, the whole thing, and it's a
yeah. So
slow
you
road.
knew you wanted to be an entrepreneur.
I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I didn't know.
Okay.
I was like 10-year plan. 10-year plan. I'll get there eventually. Just grind, grind, grind. Like I literally was like the second I finished that house, I was gonna be ready to go to the next one and just like and I mean I rehabbed that house like 24. It was miserable,
Okay, so you
but
bought a fixer-upper.
I did. Yeah, oh yeah. Oh
Was your
yeah.
strategy to buy and hold?
Yeah, the goal was to buy fully rehab. I was living rehab, right? So I lived in it, rehabbed it up, and then I basically rented out the rooms as I slowly got each room ready. Once it was nice, pretty, everything, I would furnish it, rent it on Airbnb or Furnish Finder because I was right next to a hospital, so I would get some like med students or travel nurses or something. So yeah, that's what the game plan was to fix it up, and then move out, and then rinse repeat. That was the goal. But then I met my girlfriend and she lives in New York City. She was from Michigan. She came back before I even bought the house. She came back to Michigan temporarily because of some crazy rent issue in New York because I think she got a COVID deal. She got like a really good deal on an apartment and then it jacked up like 4x. And then she's like, yeah, insane. Like went from like 2 or 3K a month to like 8K.
Oh
So
my gosh.
welcome to New York, yo. Welcome to New York. But like, seriously, so then she shipped it back to Michigan, and so I met her on Hinge, and so then like third date in, she's like, "By the way, I'm moving back to New York." I'm like, sick. So I still stayed true to my plan, so I got my house, but I knew there was I knew that maybe the idea of staying in Michigan because the Michigan entry point in terms of buying real estate was very cheap. I got my house for under 200 grand. It was great. and I did a low down, whatever, not FHA, but I was like 10% down. It was great. But I knew that once I met her and I was really hitting it off with her, I'm like, I don't know. I haven't met her. She got me kind of back into the music stuff. Like I didn't never really got back into music. I was very much in the drifting stuff though. Like I had that part of me in the fitness, but music was still missing.
Yeah.
Until her, she's music's huge for her. Literally, like when we first met, like I was like, "So what do you like music wise?" And she started naming like classic rock artists. And like growing up, I loved like classic rock, AC/DC, Aerosmith. Like my first concert ever was Aerosmith. So when
Okay.
I met her, I was like, "What the fuck? Are you serious? No way! Like no one's into this. What?" So when I met, I was like, "Oh shit! God damn it! All right, I'm
I
gonna
gotta
probably
move
have
to
to
New
leave."
York now.
Yeah, so I didn't think I was gonna live in New York. Honestly, I thought I was gonna just move back to Mass and just commute there. But regardless, I got into online coaching while I was in Michigan on the side of rehabbing the house and stuff. So I got into coaching. I had some systems in place. I had like 4 clients. I was making like $300 a month. I was like, this is
Did
the
How did you get these, clients?
yeah, so that was done through Instagram. So I when I went through the bodybuilding show and the weight loss, I documented it. So I'm a big advocate of documenting story because I just didn't have anything to show people. You know what's funny is like people were like, "You put on that much weight?" I'm like, "Oh my god, yeah." They're like, "I didn't," because they didn't see me for 2 years. So
Yeah.
I didn't like. I mean, obviously, I was in like better shape physically with muscles and stuff, but like in terms of like my facial structure and everything, like you're over 200 pounds. What? So I'm like, all right, like, and it was just it annoyed me, so I just started documenting everything in terms of fitness. So I was that guy, the first guy in my network, anyone I knew that had the fitness account. I was that dude. I was like, all
Okay.
right. So I started documenting things, and then I started getting a little bit of a following with stuff, and so I got like 3 or 4 online clients, kind of a joke, not charging much. I coached people before that for like free, just because I was like, oh, let's try it, let's see what happens, and then I started charging a little bit, but not enough. It was like it's just like, yo, I can pay groceries with this. This is the coolest thing ever. Side hustle. Awesome. So then like that's kind of it stayed that way. Because like I still believed that real estate was going to be the way I went. That's when I joined like Action Academy and the mentorship and everything like that. Like my goal was just more real estate, and the fitness business was going to be something I like slowly grew in the side, just side hustle, a little bit extra funds, and it was cool. And I absolutely loved doing it, but
How did
I
you learn
never.
about the Action Academy?
What's up?
How did you learn about the Action Academy?
My girlfriend sent me one of Brian's reels, and then one of his videos, and then I was like, "Ooh, this guy's speaking my language here. He
Yeah.
speaks to the very much, the right audience, whatever." And then I just started listening to his podcast, and then, I was just like, I'm just gonna get on the phone with him. I'm just gonna see if it's actually real,
Yeah.
all that stuff. And then it's him. I'm like, Brian, what? Like this is back when he took the calls, by the way. Like this is way back, right? I'm
Yeah.
like, hi,
Like,
starstruck. What's going on, dude? He's like, what's
I'm
going
your
on, Jack?
fan.
I'm like, I'm a fan, dude. Like, you've helped me through so much. What the heck? It's funny on that call, I told him about my rental property, and then I told him about my fitness business. And he's like, why don't you go in the fitness business? Why don't you try to build that? I'm like, dude, I don't know, man. Like, the real estate was the way I wanted to go. And I also was like, I don't know. I'm worried about doing it full time because it's like people say don't make your passions, your full time income and all that stuff. Like, but then I realized like as I started building the business and stuff that it's not really my passion. It's just my lifestyle, and I'm giving people advice and I help people regardless of whether it's my job or not. So when I figured out that that's how I see it, it made it so much easier. It'd be different if I tried to make drifting my full time income, right? That'd be a whole different story. I'd hate it. Like I couldn't do it, but this is a lifestyle I live. I love health. I just love it's awesome. And I give advice whether I'm charging or not. So I'm like, all right, fine. But yeah, so full circle, right? We're back into October 25th, 2023, got laid off. And so I initially panic applied like a crazy man because I still didn't believe that I could do the fitness full time. So I just applied to a ton of jobs, got a bunch of interviews. I physically was in one. I was ready to almost commit to like living in Massachusetts for a couple years. Like, didn't even think about the fitness business really.
You
But
were
then
still in Michigan when the layoff happened. No, you had already moved.
I was back in Mass. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was in Massachusetts. So I was literally about to get an in-person job. Like I was so close to accepting a role. I was trying to be a little bit more flexible. Like, hey, could this be like a hybrid role? But they were they were gonna pay me very good. And it's like, no, we want you full in office. I'm like, God dang, like I might do it, because like it's good money, and I'm just like freaking the hell out. And then another job hit that was fully remote. They said I basically have the role. They just need to do a final like interview, like, with the team and just everything like that. I'm like, cool. And then, I was just talking to people in the group and friends and, Brian and stuff like, dude, like, you've always wanted to be an entrepreneur. I'm like, yeah, I've always wanted to try to, like, you have something here. It fires you up. What's the worst that can happen? You get another job? And I'm like, yeah, you're right. They're like, so what do you have to lose? You have nothing to lose. Like, just go all in on this coaching business and see what happens. And, if it flops on its face, go get another engineering job. And I'm like, it's a good way to put it,
Yeah.
good way to put it. So then I just one day decide, you know what, this is it. I'm officially committing. I'm going for it. And then funny enough, a week later, I got that fully remote job. They said I'm in, do I want the offer? It was more than I ever was going to make, more than and I was going to make anytime soon as an engineer. It was like 20, 30K above what I was getting paid before. I'm like, this is crazy. Fully remote. What the heck? This is crazy. But I just said no. I went all in. I went on all in. Yeah, I said no. I said,
Let's
yeah.
go.
I said no, which is crazy. It was testing me because it's like literally, I shit you not, a week after I decided I'm going all in, that, the universe was just like, yo, Jack, you sure you want to do it? And I'm like, damn right.
Dude, the power of community, man, because, like, I
Yeah, if it wasn't for Action Academy, like, and the people that I surrounded myself with pushing me to just like go, like they knew me. They're like, Jack, this is you. This is what you will crush this. It's gonna suck at the beginning, but it's gonna work out. Like, just like they know my consistency, how much I just don't stop and just whatever. It's like how I just roll essentially. And um they're like, "You're gonna figure it out." I'm like, "It's good." They're like, "You're gonna do it." I'm like, "All right, fine, let's do it. Let's give it a shot." And so I leaned into the network. And initially it was definitely tough. I went through different phases. I made a lot of money fast, and then I made no money at all and actually went negative. So it's like initially I went more of a paid in full method of how I did my coaching, and it was nice and flashy, because a bunch of people are paying a good, couple, $1,000 plus. I'm like, this is so cool. Holy crap, fantastic. But then when the leads stopped, I made no money at all, and I was still coaching people. And I was like,
Mhm.
this is,
You're like, "I don't like how this feels."
wait a second, I don't like this. Like, I need consistent leads and someone that doesn't have a huge following. It was scary. And then like I had some people that paid in full end up being kind of like scumbags. This was before you were in Action Academy, but there were some individuals that came out as frauds. And I said, and they were in my coaching. I'm like, whoa. So I kicked them out. And so I owed them a lot of money. So then like I was negative for 2 months in a row, 3 months in a row because of this, because him and his wife joined. And I'm like, I can't have you guys in here. I
Mm.
can't. So I was out a lot of money and I was freaking out. But then some just different mentors that I've met through Action Academy and stuff, they pushed you like, it's going to take a while, but if you go, payment methods and just doing the good old like monthly fee, it's going to take a while, but eventually you'll be in a good spot.
Mm.
So I said, all right, we're going to shift focus. And at this point in time, I'm also getting ready to sell my rental property because I'm losing money.
Oh my
So
gosh, okay, so your
yeah.
tag ended up not cash flowing.
Yeah, it was I got killed by taxes and insurance. They jumped up, and I was renting it by the room, and I was like, for me to I if I had full capacity, I would make a little bit of money, but like enough to like if anything went wrong and it was an old home, gone, right? And this was like rented by the room, so it's like very volatile. People can leave. It was also like a midterm rental, so like people were there for 3 or 4 months at a time. So it was just a total stress ball, mental. It was brutal. So I was losing money on the house, and then I was negative in the business. I'm like, this is getting bad. So I said, you know what? Like, and I'm just seeing my bank account. And so I had some money saved up. So I said, you know what? I need to initiate trying to sell this house. So that was like a whole thing, getting the tenants out of there, which this taught me that I hated real estate because the tenants gave me such a hard time. I'm like, listen, guys, I know I was here to help, but I'm going underwater, and I will literally pay you to leave. Like, I had to pay them to leave. And some of them still gave me a hard time, and I was just like, I don't like this. I don't want to be a part of this. I'm too nice. I get, helping people,
Yeah, and this doesn't feel very helpful right
and
now.
I'm not feeling helpful. They're like feeling like I like ripped their livelihood as if like they weren't going to leave in like 2 months anyways,
Right.
whatever. So it
Yeah.
was just, it's not like that I was their permanent stay. So it was just very weird. So very salty about that. But regardless, So started getting the motion of that, and then the money started slowly piling, very, very slowly. And then I was basically like halfway to what like I needed to. So I'm about to, by the way, also about to move to New York City. So it's like this is crazy. I'm starting to
Congrats.
see a little bit of money. I'm
Yeah.
making like 3 or 4 grand in recurring revenue a month, which was great, but as a business owner, you're not taking home all of that, right? You're not. So I was like, this is cool. We're starting to get some momentum here, but I'm not even close to how much I need to be making to survive in New York. So I sold the house sold a day before I was moving. The closing date was a day before. So like I'm literally in New York bringing everything in, and then I get the wire. And I'm like, holy shit. So I have a blanket now, I have a runway,
Yeah.
and I had a very small 401k that was total. I went the real estate route pretty much very quickly out of college. I said, screw my 401k. I want to buy a rental property. So I did minimum in my 401k, minimum this. So I didn't have the craziest amount of money. So I said, you know what? I could use the funds right now. So I freaking liquidated that, liquidated the rental property. And so I was sitting on some cash and maybe feel better. But I still was seeing money go because I was halfway to what I needed to survive in New York, like make rent, pay for things.
Yeah.
And then I just knew I had to go pedal to the metal the first 2 months of being here. Um, and within 2 months, I 2.5x the business, and I was able to survive. It moved very fast.
Congratulations.
I lived and breathed it. I was in the gym filming constantly, posting like a madman, networking like crazy, and it just kind of worked out.
Yeah.
And what's cool about my business is kind of it's driven on momentum and a little bit of FOMO, where it's like if people start joining and I start posting about people joining, people start wanting to, it's just more people tend to come. Oh, they're in. I know that person. I want to join. So it's kind of just started snowballing. And
Yeah.
then before I know it, it's like it went from making 4K to over $10,000 a month, and it's just like crazy, and we're
Oh
still
my
and we're
gosh,
still climbing
impressive.
now. We're still
Yeah.
climbing. We're north of that 10 now, which is consistently. Um and I have I brought in another coach, and I'm trying to scale coaches below within my business now. So, but yeah, absolutely crazy. Absolutely nuts. Just like basically from nothing in the dirt, months, rental property and the shitter and no money. And now I'm here where I'm at. So, and
And
that
this
was
is just a little over a year ago.
last year. Yeah, that was the last year.
October of 2024 was
So
whenever.
23.
Okay.
But, I mean, yeah, I mean, we're still in January of 25, so, yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
So pretty much
23, yeah,
a
so then,
year
like,
and 2
basically a
months.
year and a couple months is
My god.
basically how that all went down. Yeah, absolutely nuts, and I just, like, I shit you not, like, I just was just so persistent with insane like, with just taking action. I never did insane like, I was never I mean, there was nights I was up till very late working on things, but, like, I just was just consistent with the simple stuff every day, with the stuff that I preach, even with my health stuff, just, like, very consistent, and it worked out. I just said, "You know what? Like, I'm gonna make this work. I don't wanna go back to an engineering job. I don't wanna go back to being told what to do. I'm feeling my best self."
Mhm.
I'm feeling the most me I've ever felt in my life. So I said, screw it, we're gonna make it. I was literally like happier, like moving to New York, not even making that much money. I was happier then, making very little money than I ever
Mhm.
was an engineering job.
Yeah.
Making way less because I had more time freedom. I was like genuinely like just doing what I loved. I enjoyed it so much, and I'm like, holy crap! I get why people say like kind of lean into a little bit what do what you love, because you'll be so much more fulfilled. The money will come,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
it's so true, and it's crazy. So it's now everyone's always wondering, "How are you so positive all the time? How are you so happy?" I'm like, "Dude, I just love this life that I've made for myself. It's just so me. It's what I make the rules. I do whatever I want. No one's telling me what the fuck to do, and it's awesome. I just make and I want that for everyone. Like, I want people to have a sense of just them, like, individuality, of being unapologetically themselves. Like, I push that kind of narrative as much as possible now, because it's like, dude, like, it's crazy how much better you feel as an individual when it's like you just get to be yourself and not freaking, be told what to do, or, being told you have to be a certain way.
Yeah, and really having that fulfillment piece, I feel like that's
Fulfillment. Yeah, that's huge.
once you're not worried about putting food on the table, that's something that I've learned. Like, once you feel stable enough financially, then you start feeling empty again because you're not fulfilled if you're in the wrong industry, right?
Yeah, very much true. And now that, like, I do find, granted, I live in New York City, so although the business is crushing it, I still feel broke. It's awesome. It's awesome. Still so it's so funny. It's like because the business starts doing good, but then we get trips, birthdays, my birthday, things started happening. So it's like, cool, the business is doing good, but I'm spending more money. Like I was spending so much money out of nowhere. It's like, oh, cool. Like, barely feel like I'm making more than my engineering job. Like I make more than my engineering job now
Yeah,
by a good, by a good amount, a little bit, and it still doesn't really feel that much just because New York is so expensive, and
that
so
lifestyle creep, man.
it's not the lifestyle creep that I didn't even I didn't even mean for it to happen. I am very it's crazy too because I don't spend a lot of money. I
Uh-huh.
don't like I am a very like frugal person. I don't like getting new clothes. I don't like getting really any of that, but it's just still the nature of the game of living here. Like groceries, between 2 people, 3 or 400 bucks, which makes no sense at all, but it's true. It's like just things are just genuinely just more expensive. My rent is ridiculous. I still pay for student loans, you
Mm,
know? I still have
good
a
old student loans.
fat amount of student loans that I am like a good old reminder of my past, but it's fine. It's like I look at that, I'm like, all right, like bet, like I'm gonna keep crushing this because it's just like in my face, and I'm like, all right, like the goal eventually is just obviously fully pay it off in one big swoop, but that'll be a couple years away, assuming two or
Yeah.
years away. But yeah, nuts,
No,
nuts. But
I'm excited to like, now that
yeah,
I get to watch you from afar basically, because like, being in the Action Academy, I'm excited to see how much you continue to grow. This is
yeah,
I think you were, like, the final straw that led me to be like, "Okay, I'm joining."
yeah.
'Cause I was like,
I'm
"If you
I'm
can do
happy that I was
something
able to be that for you. I'm
passionate
a firm believer. It's like getting around the right people
mhm,
can just be life changing.
life-changing, yeah.
That like the what you pay for Action Academy, it's obviously not cheap, right? We all pay it, but it's so worth it beyond can be.
Yeah,
Not even necessarily like the modules and everything that's inside of it. It's just the people. You
yeah,
connect with the right people, like you find your people and it's just game over. And that's what it was. I found my people and that was my fuel, my energy, my mentors. And then it was I had what I needed to just keep going. I just had everything I needed. So it's like whatever avenue you choose, you're going to be good, because you have the people.
you have the right support
You have the
system,
support system. It's crazy what you can do.
and people who are
Stop
truly,
trying to
like,
freaking
really
lone wolf it.
yeah.
Seriously.
No, and I think these, wins are way more fulfilling in a community atmosphere too, and there's lots of collaboration. It's pretty exciting. I'm excited to see what's gonna happen in the first few months of me
Yeah,
being
you're still new, noob.
yeah. No, and then this is the last thing that I'll say before we cut the call, I guess. I joined a little over 30 days ago, and I'm still on week 2 modules because I'm in over my head on the amount of like, I have definitely bit more than I can chew. I am trying to keep my business afloat, trying to, like, keep up with the leads that I'm getting both from clients and from tenants, and, I need to do everything that the Action Academy calls for. I'm in a different mastermind, and I joined their challenge, and then I was trying to do 75 hard, and I'm doing a spiritual fast at church, and it's like, "Okay, gotta like, you gotta stop."
Chill. Yeah, yeah. I mean, here's something that Action Academy, yes, all about taking action. We get it. But like I was in a similar boat where it's like I was on vacation when I first joined. I was like away, and so I was a little bit behind too. Just go at a pace that you can handle. Don't let it burn you out. I know they're gonna be knocking on your door, saying, "Hey, have you got it done?" I'm like, "Listen," you're like, "Listen, I want this so freaking bad. I'm going at the pace that I need to be going right now." And they're going to be understanding.
Okay.
They just want to get you in a pod. That's all it
Yeah.
is. They just want to get you're part of a system, you're part of a flow, and they want you to get things done. But go at your pace, go at whatever you can handle. You have a lot of stuff going on, and ditch 75 hard, please. Thank you. Find just a healthy lifestyle to live. Get
Yeah,
in the
I'm doing,
gym a
like,
little bit.
75 soft/medium right now.
Yeah, don't just ditch the idea. Stop calling it and just call it, "Hey, this is what Carol." How would you pronounce your name? Carolina, Carolina,
I don't care.
Carol.
Whatever
This is
comes
the
out.
life that you live. Instead
Yeah.
of like putting a title on it. That's kind of like what I say with my clients. Like, stop putting a title on eating healthy or whatever. It's like this is just what you do.
I like
You
yeah.
just do it. You are someone that goes to the gym to feel good and to get in better shape. You eat good because that's what you do to feel good, to be a better individual, to fuel your body. That's just what your life is. Instead of like putting a label on it and then trying to, it makes it harder. I'm telling you. That's just you exist. You do those things. That's it.
Yeah, I've been telling myself I'm a person who craves movement, and I'm speaking it into life because that hasn't been my trajectory, and I think in the last year, I have done things to prove otherwise, but that's 29 years of habits that I have to, like, go against because like, it
But
was
yeah, I
around
work
turning 30 that I was like, I'm way too young to feel this old."
this
So
is what I work with on a daily basis with my clients. I mean, people come to me in their 40s and 50s, and I'm trying to undo decades of habits of how they act and how they'd be on weekends with the drinking or even drinking, popping beers every, night. It's like, it's tough, and it's like, you got to give yourself a little bit of grace, like any win that you make right now, like that's crazy because you were just doing something for years on end and then you somehow just get rid of it that fast. Like just so zoom out a little bit, you know what I
yeah,
mean? Like, give
yeah.
yourself a little bit of grace, so you
Nope.
don't beat yourself up too hard.
Yeah, I
And
think
it's just zoom out. Like that's what I try to tell people all the time. Like zoom out, zoom out, zoom out. Think bigger. It's not. We all think so short term. The 75 hard. It's so short term, but like think longer. Okay, like that's the way to go. So like even though if like right now you can only handle a 20-30 minute workout 3 times a week, 2 times a week, or even walk every day, and that's all you do, that's something better than nothing, right? And that's what you can handle right now, and that's okay, right?
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what
no,
matters.
I
It's
appreciate
almost like
that.
I do this full time.
I
Wow, it's
remember one
crazy,
of
right?
our meetings, someone, like, shouted you out because he was, like, walking during the meeting, and you were like, "Yeah, come on, let's go," and I was like,
Yep.
"Walking pad."
Get
Like,
one.
that's what I need to do.
Dude, oh my god, they're $100. They've gone down so much in price. They're $100 on Amazon. I have one literally under my desk that if I come across a day where it's like, you know what, I haven't moved much, I just toss it on. And honestly, today might be one of those days. Like, yeah, I haven't moved much. Just went to and from the gym. And so that's it. So, I might hop on, but it's just like it's a nice to have, or it becomes a staple of your day, whatever it may be. But it is something for someone that does work from home. If anyone that's listening does work from home, it is a total cheat code to help get your steps up. 'Cause movement is medicine. Movement is your metabolism.
Mhm.
Because like a lot of people assume that their metabolism makes up of how hard they work out in the gym, and stuff like that, but a bigger chunk of what your daily day-to-day metabolism is built up of is just daily movement and moving your body, which not a lot of people know that. They're just like, oh, I'm just gonna go crazy hard in the gym and then do nothing the rest of the day. It's like, yeah, that's not gonna do much for you. You gotta
Yeah,
you gotta move your body. So that's
yeah,
why, and usually do that. You usually track that by like seeing how many steps you get.
yeah.
But
My Fitbit has been a game changer for me.
yeah, hell yeah. So something to just track it. Some people go like I have clients that like literally have like a pedometer, like the old school, throw it in your freaking pocket, walking around. Like they have that, and that's what works for them. I'm like, good.
It works,
If it
yeah.
works, it works. Damn right.
Well, Jack, thank you so much for
Of
your time.
course.
If
Yeah.
people wanna get in touch with you, if they want some of your coaching, if they just wanna follow your story, what is the best way they can go about
You can
doing
just hit me up on, follow me on Instagram at Sorenson Fit, Sorenson Fit, and that'll be pretty much where I hang most of the time. So that's a good spot. And yeah, that's about it.
Alright, well, looking forward to maybe having you on another episode, but
So down.
thanks
So down. Let me know. I'll be ready.
alright. Take care.